Hi, everyone. We're the Rebel Crow Psychic Show with your host, Adina Silver.
Hi, I'm Anya River.
Tonight, we are talking all about fantastic crystals to use if you are a beginner. These crystals can be used for spiritual development, for protection, for healing. They have so many different properties, and we're going to get into ones that we work with and that we really like in our own practices, and also ones that may be kind of trendy right now, but you may want to be cautious with working with them. Are you excited, Anya?
Yes, I am. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
Hi, everyone. We're back. Let's get into the episode. We're talking about the best crystals that we like to use, the ones that work really well in our practice for spiritual development and for all sorts of different spiritual applications, as well as some that you may not want to work with. And we'll tell you why.
Yeah, definitely. So tell us your first crystal.
All right. I'm going to tell you guys, this is what I tell all beginners and mentees and students that I have. My absolute hands down favorite crystal to work with is quartz crystal, the regular clear quartz. And really any quartz related family crystal like rose quartz and citrine and smoky quartz. I just love quartz. And it's because it amplifies anything that you give it. It is one of the most all-purpose crystals that you can have. You can use it and program it really for whatever you need it for. So I tend to use it with my tarot decks a lot of times. And I'll program it by sitting in meditation and raising my vibration to the desired level, and then speaking the purpose into the stone and blowing into it with my energies to program it. Then I'll keep it with and store it with my tarot decks. So this way it's like a self-contained unit. They're all charging and protecting and guarding each other.
Yeah, definitely. I'm glad you brought up the quartz because rose quartz was on my list. And I know you mentioned it, but I love rose quartz because I do feel like it's a quartz, obviously, and it's a little bit different because it's very geared towards self-love and love in general. It's a good heart chakra stone.
Definitely. I use it that way a lot in my practices for healing, especially people who've suffered, heart traumas and relationship issues. It seems to help them to understand that they need to love themselves and the other people, even though they're going through a difficult time, like divorce or a breakup, or even just issues of childhood abuse and things like that. It's like loving yourself is so necessary underneath all of it.
Yeah, it's definitely you can use it for other people, but I feel like using it for self-love is the best thing. People who are going through, or have gone through traumatic things in their lives. And it's a really gentle healing stone, which I like. It's good for, I think, everybody.
I have a funny story about rose quartz.
Tell me.
It's a little TMI, so trigger warning.
Okay.
My son recently found a rose quartz for me when he was out exploring in the woods at his Nana's house.
Really?
And gave it to me. And he said, "Mom, I want you to keep it right above your bed." And I was like, "Oh, okay." He's not really that direct with telling me what, where to put stuff. So it was interesting that he gave me directions with this gift.
Yeah.
And so I cleansed it and I put love vibrations into it and I put it right above my bed. And in a matter of hours, I've noticed that my husband's been a little bit more lovey-dovey than usual. Almost to the point where I'm like, maybe I need to move this. I got stuff to do. Maybe just put it up there when I'm ready, But it's been to the matter of even expressing how much he's happy with our lives together, and
Yeah.
happy with the family situation. It's like he's been expressing love a lot more since I put it there. I don't even think he knows it's there, which is funny. But
That is hilarious.
it's just such a strange, that's how I know my little one is a witch. You know, just he does and says things, and I don't think he realizes. My other one does it too. It's just they don't know what they're doing, but they're being led by spirit and guided by the ancestors to, you know, to do these things. And it's just more confirmation to know that, you know, that they're experiencing life very similar to how I experience it. So
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
getting back to our crazy quartz stories, rose
Yeah.
quartz is a really good one. Is there anything else, you know, you want to add with rose quartz specifically?
It's just inner heal trust, like it helps rebuild trust. I
Yeah.
think that's a big one, for someone who has had, you know, some of the some of these things that weigh on the heart, it can help rebuild that with yourself and with others. So that's wonderful. That's great. Yeah, I think it's good for everybody. I don't really feel like there's a situation where it wouldn't be warranted. Like some stones you want to be careful, certain situations.
I've
What do you
noticed
think?
though, I would say there's one contraindication when it comes to rose quartz.
Mhm.
When you're in a situation where you need to muster your power and stand up for something and be perceived as dominant, rose quartz can kind of weaken that a little bit.
Yeah.
When you're trying to muster like that mama bear warrior energy, you know, for women
Yeah.
and for men, that
Well,
protector, you know, um, instinct that they have, rose quartz can kind of inhibit that a little bit and dampen it.
that goes without saying. I'm saying within the healing arena. Like if you're looking
Yeah.
for that healing energy, then the rose quartz I think would be good for everybody.
Yeah. Oh, yes,
Whereas like
definitely.
I have another healing stone on my list that won't be good for everybody who's looking for healing.
Yes, I have
So
one
as
as
opposed
well.
to that, yeah.
I also want to quickly touch on citrine. Now, citrine is wonderful for any crystal beginners. Um, I am always of the school of thought, especially when I'm teaching my students, I'm like, start manifesting with money, play around with money first. Because you
Yeah.
can, because having it, you can multiply it very easily. And it also teaches you how to work with energies like really well. I learned some of that actually from you, believe it
Oh,
or
thank
not.
you.
I've merged it with other things too, but you have taught me a few lessons there because you're the manifester out of the two of us.
Thank
Um,
you.
but with citrine is really good, especially for keeping prosperity in the home and kind of balancing everybody out and making sure that there's a constant flow. I keep a piece of citrine right by my door so that every time my door is opening, it's bringing in that money energy into my home.
Yeah, I love citrine too. It's a really good
Yeah.
one. That's a really good gentle stone too. Like it's effective, but it's not
Yeah.
too harsh.
I also keep one in my wallet next to my
Mhm.
money.
Good idea. Good
Green
idea. I had not
aventurine
thought of
works
that
well
one.
too.
Okay, we're gonna write that one down too.
Yep.
Speaking of green, can I talk about my next one?
Sure.
Okay, so my next one is within the same vein as rose quartz because I had a lot of trauma in my life. So I work with these stones that deal with trauma. It's a long time ago. Don't worry. Nobody
Yeah.
worry, But, residual stuff, right? So, my next stone is malachite, and malachite is like my absolute favorite. Absolute favorite. I have this like really beautiful malachite egg and this stone helped me through a lot, a lot. But the thing is about the malachite, so it's like the transformation stone.
Mhm.
It's this beautiful nature, very connected to nature. It's about healing and transformation, and it is a deep healing stone. It's about, it works with the heart chakra. it's not for everyone. So my personal
Yeah,
feelings,
I'm one of those not for everyone. I have a hate and disdain for
hey,
that stone.
don't talk about bad about my stone, at least until I'm
No, no,
finished.
no. It works for you. It just doesn't work for me.
Because this is like my all-time favorite, like, and I owe so much to this stone. But okay, so I'm not saying this about you, okay? So
Yeah,
I don't know why you don't work with this stone, but my feeling is that if you are still in trauma, so it works well with trauma, but if you're still in the trauma, like if you're still experiencing it in your body or in your situation, the problem with it is that it amplifies positive and negative
hmm,
feelings. Okay. So if you don't at least have like half of it cleared out, you're going to be in trouble if you try to start working with malachite. You got to have like at least half of it cleared out. And
I
then you can work with it, and it's strong, like it's
yeah.
really strong. So it'll bring out the rest, and it might feel violent, but it's like if you're ready to have it purge, you can work with it and have it come out. But it
I
also, go ahead.
To touch on that, I feel like it triggers my depression.
Yeah.
Um, not that I'm not dealing with it. I'm always actively dealing with it. It's just I notice that anytime, it's around, or if I've tried to work with it in the past, and even just looking at it, just I feel different. I feel like triggered.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's, I think that's the thing, is that if there's any negative feelings there, it's going to just amplify it,
Yeah.
but so yeah, I definitely, but I just really think it's a great, like, when you can get a lot of that stuff out without using it, then you can use it, and then it's great. It's also a very good um protect environmental protector.
Yeah.
So that's a good one too. That's nothing to do with like healing or moods, but just having it in the home to protect against like negative EMFs and things like that. So
Well,
that's my stone of transformation.
since we're talking about protection stones, I want to bring up obsidian and
Yes.
snowflake obsidian and the different variations of obsidian. Obsidian is an extremely strong protective stone. It's been used for thousands of years in the Americas. And they used it for forms of like divination, and I think also the Toltec people as well. A lot of the different Native American tribes have used it, and they used it for scrying. They've used it for protection. They've used it as jewelry. Um, they've been able to use it to divine, because it helps to see into people's energies and to see like the real versions of them on a soul level, and to see through all of the truths. So it's very protective and strong, and it can actually help block psychic attack.
Oh,
So
good.
it's been worn very much like around the head and on the body for that specific reason, because when you're, especially back in the day, there was sorcerers afoot.
I mean, I suppose there still is, right?
There is, but I feel like, I mean, well, you know what? I take that back, because it's been worse lately more than ever, especially on certain social media platforms.
Uh-oh,
But
TikTok.
but deep down, it is about transformation, because it's about truth, and it's about seeing one's inner core
Yeah.
and protecting that energy. Um, if you're having nightmares, or your children are having nightmares, getting obsidian and putting it like above their bed on a high shelf, or if they're older, sticking it between the mattress.
Mm-hmm.
It helps to filter and protect them while they're in their dream state, because you can become a little bit vulnerable when you're dreaming.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, that's a really good tip.
Especially vulnerable to witchcraft. A lot of people move at night.
Yeah, right, right. Yeah, definitely.
You
So,
don't want to get seen before you get there. Especially like the lucid dreamers, they'll see you coming.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's so creepy.
I've had ancestors come and show me stuff in my dreams about witchcraft being sent my way and things of that nature. So
Really?
yeah, if you can see it, they'll show you,
Now, do you
And you
have
better
one? Do
believe
you
I
sleep?
grabbed my obsidian and protected my ass.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, do you sleep with it like near you?
It depends on what I'm doing. If I feel like I am actively being attacked, then definitely I'll also do other spiritual things and cleansings to protect myself.
And secret
And make
things.
yeah, there's a lot of things that I do, but um it's just with obsidian, I'll leave it by the bed, or
Mhm.
if I'm not feeling safe, I'll wear it if I go on planes. I do
Mhm.
not like to fly on planes. It's like a control freak issue thing I have because
Right
I'm not
here.
driving. I don't like it. Um,
Right here,
and so you'll sit
definitely.
there. I will sit there like clutching my talismans and my crystals, saying prayers, sitting in the seat on
Like a little
takeoff,
old
trying not
lady.
to pee or have a heart attack.
God.
But I will say it's a stand-up crystal. It got you.
Yeah. I can't even imagine, by the way, like slightly off topic, but we've never been on a plane together. I think
No.
we would be hilarious because I'm basically the same thing.
Yep. Oh yeah. I have gotten on the plane, pulled out the Florida water, and cleansed myself and the seats next to me. I'm like, I am not
Do you
going down on
splash it
this
on
plane.
the passengers while they're sitting?
No, I got there before they did. And I just put a little bit like, and it was a lovely flight. Nobody tried to talk to me. It was nice.
Real quick, so one time somebody this is so off topic, but whatever. I was such a mess on planes that once when I was 28 years old, the flight attendants were like, "Do you want to meet the pilot? Do you want to go see the cockpit?" I'm like, "Oh yes, thank you."
Oh my
All
God.
right. Yeah, it's that bad.
That's hilarious.
That bad. I've been on plenty of flights too. It never gets better. I just always
No,
act
I
like I'm
agree.
like,
It's horrible.
yeah,
I hate
it
it.
never gets
I
better.
don't even feel safe on step stools. Like I have massive vertigo. I'm little, so I'm like close to the ground. I like to be there. I feel safe. I'm an earth person. I'm an earth
Yeah.
sign, guys.
Yeah, you don't want to get off the ground. So that's a
No,
good
I
one. That's a
belong
good
here.
tip. Keep it with you. Keep that obsidian with you when you go on your
Definitely.
planes if you're crazy people like us.
Of course. So I want to talk quickly about a stone that I absolutely cannot work with. Like
Okay.
I think I have an allergy to this stone.
Okay.
And I'll get into my theory of why. It's carnelian. It's for mostly for vitality, for motivation, for stimulation. It stimulates your creativity and opens up things, and it's high vibrational. And I think I can't work with it because I have ADHD. Like I'm
Really?
already stimulated, It's too much
Yeah.
stimulation for me. And I noticed that holding it, I've tried to use it a couple of times. I went to this one holistic practitioner who does crystal healing, and she was putting it on my body, and I started like breaking out in hives and sweating.
Wow.
And I'm like, can we take this off? It's like burning me. And like my body
Wow.
temperature went up really high, and like I felt like I was gonna pass out. And
That's
she had about 10 pieces up all on top of my body.
wow. So what did she switch it out with?
Oh, she told me, she's like, go out. It was cold that day. So she's like, go outside and just sit down for a little while. And when I
Okay.
came in, she laid me down and put amethyst on me.
Okay. Yeah, that's another
The
good
amethyst
one.
is really good for healing and soothing and bringing peace. It's very much like, has the same qualities as lavender. And that's what it
Hmm.
always reminds me when I look at it. Like I just can, it's like a synesthesia thing. I smell it and it smells
Hmm.
like lavender to me.
Yeah.
Um, it's really good for it's highly, I would say, go for it if you're going to do any kind of meditation work, or if you're trying to open up your spiritual journey, because it's all
Hmm.
about spiritual wisdom and deep understanding and just spirituality in general. And so it works really well. So thank God she put that on me. But the cornelian just It was bad.
Yeah, and I could see why that would maybe that would aggravate you too, not just because of the ADHD, but just because you are a very active person. Like you don't really need a lot of assistance getting going,
No, I
so
don't.
maybe that's one of the reasons why like you don't need that. Like I'm wondering, I don't know, one of my stones is actually sunstone and it's pretty close to carnelian in like what it does for you. Like it's about, but it has like some joy luck talismans to it, but it's very much about like it's this divine masculine stone.
I've never used that. So I wondered if I'd had the same reaction.
It has the same kind of properties. So one of the good things about it is that that might be different from carnelian. I don't know, but it's a good cord cutting stone. So
Hmm.
like when you need to let go of some person or situation or whatever, it's very good for that. But some of the properties that sound a lot like the carnelian is, it helps activate, it helps get you moving. So for
Yeah.
somebody like me, honestly, that's great because like I don't
You
move
need the little push.
a little bit more than a little. you like and being out in the sun, like I'm like this vampire. you know like
Yeah.
go out in the
Listen,
sun.
I'm a vampire too. All right.
It's a sunstone. It's the sunstone. It's about vice. So there's this also, this aspect of sunstone that corresponds with like when you're working with the sun.
Hmm.
So that might be a good thing to link into Erica's episode about that, because it's
Yeah.
about it's about
And that makes a
health.
connection as well for me because working with the sun has been very new to me. Um,
Mhm.
it's really been something I've been experimenting with and incorporating in my practice really only over the past year or so. So
Yeah.
it's interesting that these things are all coming together now, all at the same time. So I'm gonna have
Yeah.
to check out Sunstone.
Yeah, so it's good. About the sun. It's about health and vitality and action and sexuality and moving and leadership and the So it's a little different from carnelian, obviously, but I feel like there's some similarities there. But it might be a better fit for somebody.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Oh hell yeah, I'll
You
check it
know,
out.
let us know.
So now we want to get into what I really want to talk
Okay.
about. And I'm going to preface it with don't come at me. This is my opinion. And this is what I've come up with and what I've seen objectively. So
Guys,
I'm
I
going to
have no
preface what I'm about
idea.
to say with that.
I have no
I
idea
want to
what
talk
you're going to say.
about, huh?
I have no idea what you're about to say. I just want everyone
All
to know
right.
that.
You ready? I want to get into talking about this trendy upstart use of Moldavite in the spiritual community.
Oh.
On TikTok, on different social media, there's so many people that are like trying to hype up Moldavite. They're like, it's a magical stone. It comes from outer space. It's going to solve all your problems and you're going to be so spiritual. And, and listen, I don't judge anybody. I sit back, with my auntie face going, all right, really? And so I kind of taken it in, seen what everybody else is doing. And I really come to and I've also tried working with it myself into my own research on, to satisfy my own curiosity.
Mm-hmm.
And what I can honestly say is that if you are a beginner, if you're a baby witch, if you're just new to spirituality, if you're not really that sure of who you are right now, don't buy that stone because it is
Okay.
an extreme transformation stone. It's
Okay.
just like a push in the right direction. It is a nudge off the cliff, you know. And I'm not kidding. I have seen it destroy people's lives.
Wow.
They'll get it and want to manifest prosperity and spirituality and change and wind up leaving their boyfriend, getting fired from their job, getting evicted, having to, satisfy all these requirements all at the same time. Like when it tears you down and changes you, it tears everything down.
Yeah.
So if you don't know yourself, if you don't know your power and your energies and you are not in a regular practice and you're not really sure where your direction is, please use one of the other stones we've mentioned before, because this stone will change you in ways that you cannot be unchanged. It's a stone from space. It has cosmic energies. You know, if you are strong enough and brave enough and you know yourself very well, this stone can be very positive. It can take you to that cosmic level. It can give you, you know, cosmic understanding and enlightenment when you're ready for it. You know, so if you are someone who's been doing spirituality for a very long time and working on yourself, understanding and healing all the traumas that are in your life, you know, trying and walking in your life's purpose and your spiritual path, and this stone will be great for you. It's just, if you're a beginner, just, this is not your stone.
Yeah.
From a safety perspective.
You know what's interesting? I think I read about that stone being associated with Persephone. So that's kind of like, if you know the story about Persephone, she was stolen by Hades and, you know, raped and then became the queen of the underworld. So that's like kind of mirrors what you're saying. Like,
yeah,
it's cool to be the queen of the underworld. but that
to
transformation.
Add to that, but to add to that, within her mystery cults, in the ancient times, there was hallucinogenic plants being used for enlightenment. And all these people, notable people, and like spiritual workers back then would commune and drink this spiked tea concoction. I'm not going to get into what's in there. It's really interesting, and I think we should do an episode about it. But it's really interesting that it's all about extreme transformation and learning deep hidden ancient mysteries. And so I'm not surprised that it would have similar connections.
But you got to be ready for deep transformation like that. Like, if you're saying that this stone is linked to Persephone, Persephone was just a maiden frolicking in the fields, you know, daughter of Demeter, and then just gets plucked. And, you know, you can't, if you're not ready for that.
No, if you're not ready for that, it's going to screw you up massively. And it's hard because I'm seeing a lot of these trendy videos that are pushing it. And there's people who don't really know any better, you know, that they're not too sure about who they are. And it really throws them, and they have like serious damage that can occur from it. You know, and I'm kind of like, if you were gonna push any kind of, I would push any kind of clear quartz. That would be my stone. You know,
well, it's because it's the quartzes are like nice, like almost adaptogens. So you know, like adaptogenic herbs go into your body and they kind of just fill in whatever needs to be filled in.
Yes.
It's not like one specific action. It's like the quartz goes in and is like, hey, you're low on this. Let me give you this. You know, you're too high here. Let me take it down.
I got to introduce you guys to Big Daddy one day. He is a naturally occurring quartz crystal, and he's like this big.
I was like, who is Big Daddy?
Oh, you don't even know about Big Daddy. He's on my main altar, and I've programmed him to help bring the spirits closer in his vibration, like a way for them to anchor onto his energies. And from the minute I brought him in my house, I felt the entire energy of my house change.
Yeah.
And it's been altered that way ever since he's been in my home. Yeah. But I actually found him in the woods when we were at a family reunion.
What woods are you going to finding all these crystals?
It was the one that my sister organized. That was way up in the Catskills.
Okay, I was there. I know where
it was at a yoga retreat, and we were outside. And as we were leaving, I was outside, just saying, you know, talking to the spirits. And as I was walking back to my car, I tripped and I fell over Big Daddy, who was partially buried. And then I just heard this voice like, dig me out and bring me home. So I did.
Listen, you need to help me figure out how to just stumble upon giant quartz crystals. Okay.
Apparently, it was a yoga retreat that this property was built on, and they brought the property specifically because of the naturally occurring quartz, because they did meditation retreats there. So
that's amazing.
I mean, it did mellow out some of our crazy family members. I did almost have to fight one of our uncles a few times that weekend.
Let's not get too personal, but no, it did not.
But you know, it was.
No, it did not.
It was. But I will say, for quartz, it amplified whatever was there. You know.
Yeah, that's true.
I will say it was a really fun time and a very memorable family.
It was
reunion.
memorable and fun. Yes, mostly memorable.
Yes, for all the wrong reasons.
No. It was great. It was really great.
It was. Anyway, it's been really fun talking about all the different crystals, and you know, we hope you guys get inspired by this and go out and buy some of these and try them for your own practices. It's such a good boost of energy and really complements a lot of spell work really well. So we both highly recommend you go out and try these out. Anyway, I'm Athena Silver. I'm a professional psychic medium. I do tarot readings and mediumship readings and different spiritual services. If you're interested in having a session with me, my website is readingswithathenasilver.com. My Facebook is Readings with Athena Silver. My Instagram is @athena.silver, and my TikTok is @Athena_silver. What about you, Anya?
Hi. So yeah, I'm a certified past life regression hypnotherapist. That's a mouthful. Right? And I do tarot readings as well. And you can find me on Instagram and Facebook at Anya River, ANJARIVER.
Awesome.
Yeah,
and
thank you.
For all of you, come check back on Thursdays. We put out a new episode. We release it on YouTube and on all major podcasting apps like Spotify and iHeartMusic. And we will see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.